being recorded. It is being recorded. Thanks for reminding me. So we started our program by talking about program evaluation also at the very beginning. Today as well, uh, our class will be based on what is program evaluation. Sometimes people say program evaluation. Sometimes they say curriculum evaluation. Okay. For the part of Stufflebeam, which I cited last time during my MPhil level. So he claims that is program evaluation rather than curriculum evaluation. Okay. Hilatawa entertains it is like curriculum evaluation, right? So people have different ideas on it. Okay, so they have their own ideas, their own logics, but mostly I focus on Stufflebeam's model, CIPP model. Okay, so yeah, um, have you heard about Stufflebeam and CIPP model? Let's brainstorm for a couple of minutes. So, have you heard about his name? And as I requested this morning to look after some documents on different models of curriculum design or curriculum evaluation, I think you might have gone through some articles, okay? And I have a couple of articles also. I'll be sharing those articles, okay? Yes. So, have you heard about program evaluation? So, let me ask you this question. Okay. Have you heard about it? The Tyler model of C, yeah. The Tyler model, okay, fine, good, good. There are many models of curriculum. This is curriculum design, I suppose. Okay, Tyler model, curriculum evaluation also. Okay, fine. Mostly this Tyler model focused on curriculum designing as well as curriculum evaluation also. Okay, fine. Okay, any more? Any more? Good, good. Okay. Ramkishan, last time you talk about curriculum, right? You must have heard about it.
Excuse me, sir. I'm also new about it, sir. Just
Okay,
you have
okay,
mentioned.
no problem, no problem, no problem. So no problem. We'll be sharing about it. So yeah,
Now,
CIPP model by Stufflebeam. Yes, yes, Saroji, you're right. Tawa, Hila Tawa's model.
the
Sabina, good.
CIPP model is, sir, context evaluation,
Exactly, exactly,
input evaluation, and the
exactly,
process
exactly.
evaluation,
Mm,
product
okay,
evaluation.
exactly right. You're right. Okay. So thank you so much for sharing your ideas. And any others? Any others? Yeah, yeah. Please, please type it, or you can orally mention. Okay. So you know it. Any others? Synergy is on the way. Sanjuji, have you heard about the program's evaluation? Have you been familiar with this? Yes, David's Proves model. Yeah, yeah. So why not Soros model now, Sarojji? What about creating your own model now? Okay, sure. Good luck. So yeah, in line with other theorists, other scholars, why not? We can develop our own model sometimes. No? But by the time we explore all kinds of model, right? So we have to have it. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Um, so, did you read any article, any documents related to any kinds of model based on curriculum evaluation? Okay, can you share orally? Any good guessing, any wrong guessing? It doesn't matter.
So may I, sir?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So I went through the Tyler's model of curriculum evaluation,
Uh-huh.
and it's not that difficult because in his model of curriculum evaluation is consists of four steps,
Uh-huh. Good.
and because that's how he profound, like
Uh-huh.
his full name is Ralph Tyler,
Uh-huh.
and he just gave us like four steps. And first
Yes.
one is we need to determine the process or objectives. That
Mm-hmm.
is the first and foremost. And the second one is we need to select of educational experiences related to the purpose. What are we going to do that? So that's a purpose, number two. And third one is we need to organize the learning experiences also.
Mm.
So it's all about organizing the learning experiences. That's
Mm.
number three. And number four is all about the evaluation of students' performance. That's the Tyler's model of curriculum evaluations.
Mm.
That is it. It's
Mhm.
really simple, only four steps.
Mm.
So I happen to go and I just read only his, but I need to go with Davies also. I like it, and there are many. If you don't mind, I'm going to name few. So you mentioned about CIPP model already. So S nurse also. I know that name also, but I need to go deep into that model also. Davies, yes, it's pretty familiar also, and
Mhm.
Sticks countenance model also. Sticks
Mm.
and there is one more which is called illuminations model also.
Mm.
uh,
Okay. Mm.
that is also important, I think, which
Ah.
in focuses the importance of illuminating the curriculum and making it
Mm.
visible to all the people. But normally in a school, whenever we have a school, that we do have stakeholders.
Mm.
uh,
Good.
they invest money, so
Mm.
also we need to make sure that they understand what is it all about, because
Mm.
normally some nowadays school is kind of business also, because some people they like to invest, and at the same time the teachers or administrators who are working in that sector,
Mhm.
they use their brain.
Ah.
That's we try to bring it out, and all the stakeholders we need to tell them, okay, this is what we are going to do, and these are our curriculum models, and we will be implementing this. If they are really happy with that evaluations or curriculum model, then they will say okay, and then they will be investing. That's how we do the business in a school also.
Ah.
So that is the first one. So
That
yeah,
means
these are
we should have kind of inclination mindset towards our guardian, towards our sponsors. No, whether they are
yes.
happy with our models or not. No, that's good.
Yeah, because
Right.
that's why I choose to, like I'm just checking the English language curriculum from grade one, two, three,
Mm.
because I'm not really happy what is written there, because
Ah.
like the MOE they need to make a little bit changes. I'm
Ah.
not like trying to say changes totally, but they need slight changes, in terms of um, like the classroom teachings and learning also materials. And some students they really do not know how to use that. So because Nepal is so diverse in terms of
Mm.
geography, like the physical and all the administrative, everything is diverse. So that curriculum is not still, like did not cover everything.
Mm.
So, because talking about Nepal, it's really complicated when we have to make curriculum. Like we need to target all the people, so
Ah.
not center. And also, the curriculum is not best internationally. They need to put some kind of that effort. Also, I found that is lacking also, and also they also emphasize like ICT. Use inside a classroom also, because most of the schools they need fund. Talking about the public schools, which is government schools.
Mhm.
Yeah, I went to Dawa High School nearby the Rani Pokhari. I like that school now because the China help a lot and it's really nice. But still I saw ICT use is not well
Mm.
managed, because the most of the teachers are not even like well trained.
Mm.
They also need to train all the teachers also. There are many good things also, bad things also, but if there are bad things, then we need to improve. That's why I'm working on that also. And yeah, that's why I was going through all different kind of models, whether I
Mm.
can put it all together so I can bring out one proper curriculum evaluation, so I can have everyone's ideas, and
Mm.
then it will be better, or it will be best for not only for me, not only for my students, but also for the schools, and also for the MOE. I mean, curriculum evaluations in that English language only, not only for English language, but that is definitely going to help other subject as well.
Ah. Good.
So ICT is really bad in Nepal. It's not
Mm.
really well
Mm.
managed, and moreover, I find like government school teachers are really laid back. They're so relaxed.
I
So
think
I was in
Ramakrishna
the
will not, yeah, by saying, having said that, Ramakrishna will not be happy. Since he
I
belongs
don't
to.
know about him, sir, but I told him I will visit your place,
Okay.
because what I'm doing now, because I need to get all the data, all the information from different schools.
Okay.
So somehow I went to Dawa High School because I told Ramkrishnaji also, because I want to visit out of Kathmandu, because I need to know how is
Mm.
it going on, what
That's
are they
good.
doing.
That's good.
So
So
it's
you
kind
have
of
to
like field
study.
visit.
Mm, mm. So when you visit, then when you go to the classroom, uh, in particular setting, you'll have had a lot of ideas that you may not have from the different, theoretical classes or any other kinds of thing. When you start visiting the particular area, then the real learning takes place there. So I wish you all the best. You can do it.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Because
Yes.
I am that kind of teachers, because I'm not going to preach or teach my students, because
So
I'm the
yeah,
one.
one thing that I must request you here is, please bring back some kind of curriculums of Thailand. No, please bring those curriculums which have been applied in different levels in the schools of Thailand, and it will be quite interesting for us to explore them. Okay, and if it is possible, I think you will share those curriculums, those different levels curriculum, maybe tertiary
Yes,
level,
that's
maybe
that's
secondary.
absolutely perfect. I'm teaching in Thailand. It doesn't mean that I totally follow Thailand
Mm.
curriculum. They have the curriculum which is also not updated. But
Uh-huh.
in a school, what I follow is a Cambridge curriculum, and
Yeah.
also I used to teach American curriculum also.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So it's how they manipulate the curriculum, and
Uh,
they try to implement inside their school.
so
So
really, American curriculum is quite specified, and then just they focus on only one aspect, right? I also
yes,
have taught composition, that is designed by Westcliff University, California. And then talking about the curriculum, that goes for 4 weeks courses, 8-week courses, and then the whole curriculum is about only one matter. By the time I complete the course, the student will have been able to write one complete paper, one research paper. Means, having said that, this just focus on only one, one subject matter, rather than intermingling with different kind of matters of the curriculum. So that sounds good. That sounds better than other kind of curriculum, which is overloaded, and then that doesn't have a specified objective also. So when a curriculum sets a different kind of objectives, then the objectives may not be fulfilled, as Saruji mentioned. Yeah, I also believe that. But the thing is that there is possibility of knowing many things if one curriculum connects with different kind of area. Okay, so that is matter of debate also. Sometimes people say, yeah, curriculum should include all kinds of things, and then sometimes people say one curriculum should focus on only one objective, all these things. So people have kind of tug of war kind of debates also. Okay, our job is to highlight, is to explore.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, I have a question. Just I'm confused about the sir. Our education system is weak, that you have mentioned. Sir also mentioned about
Ah,
curriculum. So,
ah.
does any country or any institution influence for making curriculum about our schools or college level, sir?
No, no. Please, if I understand your question, we should not be influenced. One thing is that, okay, we should not be influenced. As Saroji mentioned, Nepal is heterogeneous. Nepal is multicultural, multi-ethnic. Our geography is different. Okay, so we have to design our curriculum as per our geography, as per our that localities, as per our communities. The problem is that the same curriculum which is being used in Kathmandu is also being used in Chiringji's location. I mean, in Dolpa. Am I right, Chiringji? So, Chiringji, okay, she is on the way. So, the problem is there, isn't it, Saroji? So, since the location is different, the ethnicity is different, so we should, it will be better if we design different kinds of curriculum based on the particular area. So, should we focus on the need of particular people? Should we focus on the particular that stakeholders? who our stakeholders are, whose interests are served actually, right? We have to serve their interest. We have to serve our stakeholders' interest. But the problem is that whose interests are being served? That's a very big question. Okay, so having said that, let me share the document of CIPP model. But one good news is Savinaji has already started writing background of curriculum evaluation, and I think she will be continuing it. And I wish her all the best to complete it. Savinaji, I think you got my feedback, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
and just during the vacation, I even got the chance to go through the journal.
Mm,
There,
mm,
just journal of Nepal. I have found that politics of education
mm.
policy making in Nepal by Revat Kumar Dokalso.
Dhagal,
And
Revat sir. Revat
yes,
sir
sir.
belongs to Kusud.
Yes, so and this when I just went through
Mm,
that,
mm.
this I have found like the Nepal's education, no, like in other countries, it
Mm.
was like a top-down approach,
Okay.
but in our country,
Mm,
it was mentioned like a
mm,
top approach. No, so
mm.
only the those who are at the top level
At
they
the top.
used to make the those curriculum and all those education policies without considering the stakeholders like us about the grassroots people who are involved in the certain professions, the teachers as
Mm,
well as the others. That's why we could not be able to imply that. First of all. Overall I got in that way like we should be able to understand those who are at the top level. They should be able to understand the problem, what's the actual problem that the teachers or the professors, like the school is facing. So because of this also we are quite back, and I have made let's blending our words here. I have
mm,
made it politics plus education equals to politication. It's
mm.
happening in our country. This I tried it finally.
You coined the words. Yeah, you can win. You can coin if you have a certain reason, certain that facts. If you have the logic, you can coin your own words, right, Savinaji? Whether it is
Yes, sir.
accepted by Oxford, whether it is accepted by Google or not, but the thing is that if you do certain kind of reason or logics, you can coin your own words.
Yes, I have quite in that a
Good,
politician,
good,
no, sir,
good. Yeah.
because politics it tossed a mass, no, that's why we are a little bit back. And just going through the curriculum, sir, just Turing's ma'am sent me, just she sent me the 6, 7, and 8.
Mm,
It was just a comparative form,
mm,
and just when I just went through that curriculum, I found it very pretty good, sir.
mm,
Like, but the main thing that we are lacking is the implications, sir.
mm,
Like the curriculum is pretty good. Whatever the students need, it was specified in that curriculum.
mm,
But the main problem is the implications. Even in the I taught in the remote part of Nepal, Thaplejung, even in the government school.
mm,
There also I found that teachers quite lethargic, just only just teaching the students for the sake of the duty or what. I found it quite, but no, if the teachers of the even the government schools, although the principal he was too much ahead forward, he wants to keep the students ahead in every
mm,
sectors, not only the academic one, others extracurricular activities, but the main the teachers, because only the one person cannot change, cannot bring a drastic change, because
mm,
we need the support of others as well. And I found over there also like the lack of the support from the teachers, there should be the cooperative work. And here also I'm feeling like teaching in the
mm,
previous champion as well as now teaching in LA. Although just it's good overall in outer aspect, but
mm,
when we delve into the inner sides of, I didn't find. I
mm,
still find something is lacking here,
mm,
no.
mm,
Although it's one of the top schools of Kathmandu Valley, but also ICTS also already mentioned is
mm,
totally lacking. So over here, when
mhm,
I'm trying to do the research on it, and not only that,
mm,
like I found that students even the speaking skill also
mhm,
quite vague.
mm,
Writing skill, I can consider them overall no like at the ground level,
mhm,
but even the speaking also they are having the problem, some
mm,
problem. Like I mentioned in my abstract,
mm,
influence of the
mm. Good.
huh?
Mm,
And all those things, sir. And I found that like pretty interesting. This curriculum evaluation, it's very
mm.
interesting for
Yeah.
me, and I'm going through it, sir.
So yeah, we do contribute different kind of work, but this curriculum evaluation will contribute to policymakers. Since teacher is not only teacher, I frequently repeat this statement. We are policymakers. We are the contributor. We should contribute to the policymaker in order to figure out curriculum, what the curriculums, how the curriculum should be, how it should be designed. No, and then how are we able to do this? Because we have been spending our cream age in our classroom, and we know who the students are. We know who our guardian are. We know what institution expects. Then policymakers only they sit on the chair, and then just as you mentioned, they just see through the eagle eyes. No, they don't know where the things are available. So therefore we know the classroom. I don't know what how the classroom is handled by Savinaji. Okay, so she knows the classroom reality, she knows the student, she knows the expectation of the students. But the problem is that I make curriculum that is supposed to be accepted by Savina. That's the problem with us. Teachers are not represented. But the one thing is that this time I'm also assigned as one of the experts over there by CDC. Perhaps I'll be talking about all those kind of things. Okay, so there must be the people who are from real classroom. They should be from the real ground to make policy, to make curriculum, to make content. Otherwise, the things, for example, gentleman means the one who handles the bag and then who wears very, short and pant, tie. That's not the meaning of gentleman, actually. So that's the problem with our education. Gentleman can be the person who is holding plugs and then sowing seeds in the village. He or she can be the gentleman. So that's the problem, actually. Yes, Sarji, yes, please. You're gonna say something else.
So I just want to ask Savinaji, because normally when we do curriculum evaluation, we do have formative evaluation also and summative
Yeah,
evaluation also.
yeah, I'll be talking about these two things. I'll be sharing these things. Yeah,
So is it okay if I ask her about it? Like,
yeah.
which evaluation did you follow? Did you follow like formative or summative? There are two ways.
Oh,
So you know about this, right?
yes, please. So CI is formative, PP is summative, right?
Yeah.
CI, context evaluation, input evaluation. So we should revise our input also, whether our input is being given or not. Okay, so we have to follow these two varieties. So we'll be talking about this. I have some slides also. We'll be sharing it. I think it's time to share a few slides that I have prepared so far. And any more views, Savinaji, regarding the ideas about? Okay, I think I should go to my slides that I have prepared so far.
Excuse me, sir. Can
Yes,
I
please,
ask
please.
you one question, sir? Actually,
Please.
I have started evaluating the curriculum. So
Uh-huh.
I have just started with the definition of curriculum and given some definition of
Uh-huh.
curriculum given by different scholars. And
Uh-huh.
after that, I have just listed down some important needs and importance of the curriculum.
Uh-huh.
And then after that, then I just wrote English language curriculum and these things, and I have written the objectives. So
Uh-huh.
after that, like, what am I supposed to do? I got confused over
Okay,
there.
your questions will be answered. Don't worry, Singh. We'll be talking about those things. So let me share my screen here. So please notify me if my screen is not visible. So, okay, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Clearly.
So obviously there are certain models. Let me share. Okay, Tyler's model, as Saroji Sabinaji mentioned, there are many models. Even Saroji mentioned quite strange, quite some novel models also. So here I have listed Tyler model, Tawa model, Sticks model, Kronbach's model, and the CIPP model. So today's my sharing will be highly based on CIPP model. So we'll be talking about it, and then I have prepared about 20 slides based on this, and then after we'll have a lot of discussion session, and then during my presentation also we'll have some question answer session also. If you raise your hand, please notify me. So look at, just I encourage all of you to see this picture. This picture may not be much comprehensible right now, so it will be comprehensible when I discuss about some you know uh, some slides over there. So my 18 slides are based on this picture. Okay, so this picture, from this picture I have just designed different slides over here. This picture is typically based on CIPP evaluation model. It's a stable beam model also. Look at it. What is curriculum evaluation? I think we should start from here. Okay, so there are different views on it. For example, Tyler, the process of determining to what extent educational objectives are being attained, one thing. And next idea by Brogg and Gull, the process of making judgment and the merit value worth of educational programs, projects, materials, techniques. Okay, so this definition focuses on program, projects, materials, techniques. So Stufflebeam and his group wrote one, just did one research in 1971, and then they prepared a report. They mentioned that the process of delineating, obtaining, and providing useful info for judging decision alternatives means this give a kind of judging decision, means how do we judge our curriculum based on the obtaining providing useful information. So this provides useful information in order to figure out the value of the value of curriculum. So as Soroji mentioned, Soroji's question was based on this. Scribe in 1967 did one research. Okay, so here types of evaluation: formative evaluation as well as summative evaluation. Okay, so formative evaluation, as you mentioned, that we do this kind of evaluation every day in our classroom. It is ongoing process because we format so many so many inputs, so many activities. It focuses on the program improvement. Okay, so when we do formative evaluation, that has a lot of rooms, that have a lot of possibilities to reform the programs, whether the program is okay with the student, with the community or not. Provide data about educational program to assist developer in improving the program. So obviously, so formative evaluation is form. We can format so many programs in order to give a final outcome. It always focuses on improvement of the program, improvement of the syllabus or curriculum. What do we say? And on the other hand, there is summative evaluation, which is done at the completion of the program. Means summative evaluation is done by the time we complete the session. Okay, so therefore it is not only in the while assessing the students but also assessing the evaluation also. You might be confused over here. So whether formative summative evaluation come in terms of students evaluation or in terms of evaluation of programs. Okay, so these also are used in program evaluation also. Okay, so therefore there is no any kind of confusion over here. So summative evaluation is done by the time we the program is over, the program is complete. Concerned with the overall effectiveness of the program, provide data to determine the worth of the program. So questions should be asked over here. Okay, why are we going to evaluate the program? Why are we going to evaluate the curriculum? Are the program meeting existing expected needs? अब कहाँबाट सुरु हुन्छ त, किन हामीले गर्ने त? Why are we spending our time, effort, money? So we are spending our time, effort, money to ask, to inquire whether the curriculum is okay or not, whether the curriculum addresses needs or not. Does the program contain extraneous or outdated materials? Okay, so sometimes what happens is if you take your own classroom, that you sometimes find some content, some things which are outdated, which should not be taught, which should not be mentioned over there. But sometimes the contents are there which are extraneous, which are outdated, which are too old, which is very rare to fit with the content, with the context. So are the students able to perform adequately once they finish their study? Okay, so did all the students perform well? A comprehensive evaluation framework or model is necessary to achieve a systematic, effective, and efficient evaluation. Means we should do program evaluation for systematic, effective, and efficient evaluation. Means that program should be systematic all the time, that should be effective and efficient. Okay, so therefore we should do this program evaluation. So look at now, let me be specific over here. So अझै स्पेसिफिक भएर हेर्दाखेरिमा चाहिँ just I focus on CIPP evaluation model. Okay, so CIPP evaluation model was propounded by Daniel Leore Stufflebeam. So he was a professor, emeritus professor at Western Michigan University. So he developed the CIPP evaluation model in 1960s. Okay, he's the father of CIPP model, CIPP evaluation model. Okay, so he also is called a parent of evaluation. Okay, so look at here. What is CIPP evaluation model? Program evaluation model, which was developed by Daniel Stufflebeam and colleagues in the 1960s. An evaluation model that requires the evaluation of context, input, process, and product in judging the program's value. So I think you have question. So I'll be sharing some questions that you might have put in your mind right now. I have some questions also. So it's designed to systematically guide both evaluators and stakeholders in posing relevant questions and conducting assessments at the beginning of the project, while it is in progress and it is end. Okay, so context, input, process, product. As I mentioned already, context, input, process, and product. The full form of the CIPP goes like this: content, context, input, process, and product. Look at here, types of evaluation. So look at here, context, input, process. Okay, sometimes formative evaluation also connects with process as well. We can revise our process also, whether our processes were correct or not. Do we repeat it again or not? Was our input was our input well delivered or not? Right, what was the context, what was the environment? Okay, since our Nepal is geographically diverse, right, ethnically diverse, so many diversities are here. So therefore we have to format different kinds of curriculum. So likewise product is there. Okay, summative evaluation also is there. So formative evaluation connects with these three: context, input, process, okay, and summative product. Okay, sometimes summative also comes with process. Okay, but Stufflebeam focuses on this in this way. So look at here, model framework: context, input, curriculum initiative, and structuring. So this context input comes under structuring part, and next is curriculum operation, process, and product. Okay, so when we start using curriculum, that belongs to process as well as product. Okay, so this framework will make us clear about context, input, as well as process, product. Okay, context. So let's delve into this part. This is very important. Okay, so how does complaint come when we complain our curriculum? Why we do a kind of a blame game over here? Okay, so let's talk about it. Assess the overall environmental readiness of the project. Examine whether existing goals and priorities are attuned to needs. Assess whether proposed objectives are sufficiently responsive to assessed needs. Refers to as needs assessment. Okay, so needs or discrepancy between an existing condition and desired condition. Evaluation of context, for example, environment, how the environment is, how the students are, what their level is, where they belong to. Okay, so their economic background, there are different kind of background also matters, no? So school climate, okay, how is the climate? So based on those things, for example, it's Siringji, so some 6 months schools are almost closed for 6 months, so she knows about it, school climate. And we have to design different curriculum. The problem is that similar kind of curriculum is made. So are we assessing the context? That's the problem with us. Goals and objectives of offering the programs. Okay. So these things are highly assessed in the context evaluation. यहीँबाट प्रब्लम सुरु हुन्छ क्या, whether we evaluate these kind of things or not. Okay. होला प्रब्लम हुनसक्छ, त्यहाँ सर्टकमिङ्स हुनसक्छ, but the thing is, it is very very important aspect which we have to look after before we design curriculum, before we evaluate curriculums. Okay, that's the things. And next is context. Okay, so same thing is just I'm talking about context. Okay, how is the context? So context is going on over here. So this also talks about the what needs to be done. Assess the overall environmental readiness of the project. Examine whether existing goals and priorities are attuned to needs. Oh, sorry, I think it's repeated. Okay, context question for context evaluation. Just you may have some questions over here. What is the relation of the course to the to other courses? One thing, is the time adequate? What are it critical of or important external factors? Okay, so if the school is closed for almost 6 months, and then does that curriculum is the curriculum appropriate for the school which is almost closed for 6 months? Okay, is the time appropriate? Is the time adequate? That's the big question to talk about the context evaluation. What are the critical or important external factors? Should courses be integrated or separate? Okay, what are the links between the course and research extension activities? Is there a need for the course? Is the course highly needed for the particular zone, for the particular context? Is the course related to the job needs? Okay, so we prepare what kind of human resource are we preparing? Okay, so this question also comes here. Okay, input, yeah. So before moving to input, so let me stop my slides over here. Let's talk about context evaluation for a while as a discussion forum. Okay, so we discuss about CIPP model here. We focused on context evaluation. Okay, so when we design after writing your background, okay, just you mention about context evaluation first. Okay, so you write about the context, what kind of context is there. Okay, so does that curriculum address that particular context or not? So did that slide make you understand about the context evaluation? Any questions based on
Yes,
context evaluation?
so it's clear, sir. No question.
Okay, so anyone, please, we can have some kind of discussion rather than moving forwards. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
yes, please.
I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
uh, teacher
Yeah,
training.
Mm.
Okay, sir, you go first, then I will.
Okay, please.
no, it's okay. You go first. It's not a problem.
Okay.
Okay, in that case. So, sir, teacher like training and the proper professionally like availability of right professionals to deliver the curriculum also comes under the context, or that is under
So
process.
pertinent questions. Yeah, why not? So yeah, sometimes whatever, I was the teacher of English in my hometown long ago, and then there were some there are some students who were not much aware of the curriculum. Even we teachers were not given such training. Actually, we were supposed to teach that old English literature, and then neither we got any trainers, nor we got any materials. Then I asked this question: how did I teach during the day? And then I just reflect back now, and obviously, so if there are certain qualified teacher trainers, if the students are well fit with the content, if the materials are there, if the things are prevail over there, so it will be better. Obviously, it is also one of the very much important aspects to talk about in the context of curriculum evaluation. Okay, so how is the context, how is the level of students? They don't know the culture actually. right? So we have to teach American culture, being in village. So to look at, talk to Sirinji. I think Sirinji knows about it. When she talks about the culture of America, and then how does she make understand her learner? That's the challenging for her. So she should, so the curriculum should have given other kind of things, local things, no? So, therefore, having said that, that should be context sensitive, okay, which will be easier for the learners, okay, so their interest will be served, the community's interest will be served, okay, the that particular environment will be highly explained in the curriculum. Otherwise there will be lots of pitfalls, lots of lacunas, no, to mention to apply those curriculums. So that's the reason why we are talking about context evaluation while talking about program evaluation. Whole program evaluation is very important things, no. So it's not only important for SLA studies, but also important for other studies also. So this is backbone of whole education system. Okay. So the problem is that there is a big question: whose interests are served? We have to serve our students' interest, our community's interest. There we are fail over here to serve the interest of our target audience. Okay, so therefore complaint comes here. And then yeah, we are preparing the human resource for abroad studies. We are preparing the human resource for America, for Australia, and other things. Please don't take it otherwise, but sometimes this kind of gossip happens to come. Okay, so that's the reason why there are many articles written in this kind of thing, and brain kind of things and other. Oh yeah. Therefore, context evaluation comes always at the beginning when we evaluate the curriculum. Okay. Any more questions?
Yes, sir. So when you said about context evaluation, right? These are the step, which is the first step, and then
Uh-huh.
you mentioned that we have to write the background. So I found like background first, history and goals and objectives respectively, right?
Ah.
And also it involves evaluating the needs and expectations of the stakeholders.
Mhm.
But my question here is, yes, sometimes we may not be able to, like. Give our stakeholders expectations. How can we do this? Because this is a little bit challenging for the teachers who are evaluating the curriculum.
Sarojji, if I'm not wrong, how can I make you understand over here is, I think I can make you convince over here is, so since this is the time of technology, and then we can use technology also. We can make some interview questions, and then we can ask them whether they are happy with the particular curriculum or not. So it depends on us also how proactive we are. Really, your question matters a lot because even there are some area where internet is not available, and then even minimum resources is not available. Then how do we connect people, how do we talk to stakeholders? Challenges are there. I believe in your question, right? So however we can go extra mile. Extra mile. So yeah, we can do something better, doing extra mile. Maybe we can visit sometimes, we can talk to people via online, and different other media is there. Yeah, we can do it, right, Saroji? Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
yeah. Okay, so any more queries? So we are talking about context evaluation. Just simply we understand how the context is. Okay, so how our classroom is, how our learners are. Okay, so based on their expectation, their needs. Okay, so until and unless their needs are fulfilled, so what is the value of curriculum? That is big question. Okay, so we have to focus on the needs of the learners, needs of the society. क्या त्यो चाहिँ हुनु पर्यो. अब here is lot of pitfalls. त्यही त तपाईँहरूले, I think we all have felt it, haven't we? Yes, we have. के पढाइरहेको छु sometimes, no? Is it necessary for us or not? Sometimes we ask this kind of question. So let's reflect it. So by the time we complete our class, so was my class okay? Was my class fit in the environment that I'm in? Okay. So can't we reflect it? Yeah, we can just sometime reflect it in a right diary. For example, a teacher's man. I think Tika sir might have. Yeah, Tika sir. I think Tika sir does not take class. So Tika sir shared one of the books last in 2018. That book was Teacher's Man. त्यो छ क्या एउटा अचम्मै book छ. I must share this book with you all. So Teacher Man also mentions this kind of things. So who am I teaching to, and then how am I, then what is my context, all these things. So the environment matters a lot. सबै कुरा चाहिँ भनेको इन्भाइरोमेन्ट नै हो. फर इक्जाम्पल sometimes students are quite rude क्या होइन, they don't know, and then just they are like they have kind of disturbances, they have disruptive behavior also, and they don't know the spirit of the curriculum also होइन. And neither teacher makes him or her understand, nor school administration makes him or her understand the things, no. यस्तो हुन्छ. Why it happens? ल भोलि बिदारेर ओहो so excited. Students becomes excited, Saroji, in Nepal. So you understand it because you have had some experiences in our classroom. Why are they excited? They are more excited when there is holiday. That is big question. Don't we discuss about it? Don't we advocate about this issue? हामी किन यो कुरामा एडभोकेट गरिरहेको छैनौँ? So there are so-called educationists in Nepal also. Why don't they discuss about it? होइन. So therefore these things matter all the time. So students should cry when there is holiday. Oh God, please, there wouldn't be holiday. We must go to school. We should not leave schools because school is all in all for us. Students think like that. That's the global issue or a local issue. Sarojia, you'd like to add some more points?
Yes, Daniel Stuffbeam, the CIP model always uses like criteria and indicators, to evaluate the effectiveness of a program. So, like you were explaining about the context now, so would you please explain about the criteria and indicators in terms of context evaluation? Because we talked already about that, but I talk about stakeholders and how can we categorize in terms of
Yes.
criteria and indicators.
Obviously, criteria mentioned that there is indicators. For example, students obviously will be there. Okay, students will be there. Teaching materials, that environment, climate is there, and then as BJG mentioned, teacher trainers will be there. Okay, then local governments will be there, and these all are the that kind of different milieux, different kind of subject matters which come under that particular indicators. So these things should be assessed, these things should be evaluated. Okay, so guardians, students, school environment, that administration, teachers, teacher trainers, local governments. So these are the milieu, these are the outer circle or inner circle environment. So these things should be highly assessed while talking about context evaluation. So did I make you convinced, Saroji, about this matter? यो कुरा चाहिँ एकदमै हेर्नुपर्छ. हेर्नुहोस्, सो लोकल गभर्मेन्ट अहिले यस्तो छ कि हेर्नुहोस्, दे डोन्ट नो, नाइदर दे नो एजुकेसन पोलिसी. हेर्नुहोस् के छ, तिनीहरूको अधिकारै थाहा छैन. आई थिङ्क आई सुड टक टु रामकृष्णजी अबाउट इट. सो रामकृष्णजी, डु यु लिसन टु मी?
Yes, sir.
Does your wife here know about education policy?
No, sir. No, they don't know about it all.
Okay, that's the big question for us. And does he read any education objectives, any kind of things?
No, sir.
Okay. So does he give any kind of session to you in the classroom? Yeah, you should teach like that. And then
No, sir. No.
that's the problem. You understand? So therefore, the thing is that context.
Most of the, sir, I would say it's something. Most of the what person, what's president, they are under SLC or under SE, sir, in rural parts of Nepal. How they evaluate about our classroom or curriculum, sir?
Please save me. No, I cannot control myself laughing at this issue. So that's the problem, Saroji. What to say? No, actually. Okay. So having said that, we have to manage all these kind of things. हेर्नुहोस् होइन, यो कुराहरूलाई चाहिँ just we have to assess the things. यसलाई चाहिँ हामी, why not we can present in the session, in the NELTA seminar. You can do it. Okay. So therefore, I encourage you to do this. So anyone, does anyone have any queries about context evaluation?
So, if you don't mind, I'm just going to add, because
Uh,
if you let me know, okay. So please, I beg a pardon for that.
okay.
Most of my friends, I think they have to do the curriculum evaluation, but bear in your mind, it's not only you are evaluating what is written in the context, not that
Ah,
particular subject, but
okay.
in curriculum evaluation, you need to know about the criteria and indicators also. So
Hmm.
it's not only inside that book or the subject
Oh,
matter, but you have one thing which is called indicators, which is hidden there.
oh,
So that's really important, because we are going to cover out of
oh.
that thing also, like a stakeholders,
Ah, really,
our
really.
students learning process. That
Okay.
is also important, so it's not only what is written in that, like let's say English language
Hmm.
curriculum, math language
Yes,
curriculum.
yes, yes.
Beside, we have other thing also, so which is very
So
important.
there wasn't chapter by Moti Nisani. Moti Nisani wrote one essay. Why go to university? So he mentioned that we should act differently. Yeah, I know. We should. There are many reasons why we go to university. That means one of the reasons is that we should act differently. नि त्यहाँ के दिएको छैन, what is not mentioned we have to put forward. त्यो भएपछि that gives value नि in the society. Sarji, you are right. Okay. Thank you so much for adding one more point over here. So any more questions? So I think I should move ahead. So so let me share my screen over here. Okay. So is it visible? Is it?
Yes,
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for notifying me. So input evaluation. So moving forward to input evaluation, how should it be done? So input is not new to you since we have discussed about Cressen's input hypothesis, all these things. So concern judgment about resources. Okay, how are the resources there is age appropriate, interest appropriate? Okay, so these things matter a lot. Okay, so what kind of resources are being used in our classroom? So are the resources appropriate, age appropriate, level appropriate? यो कुरा चाहिँ we have to give emphasis on it. So refers to the ingredients of the curriculum. These include the quality of the curriculum and syllabus, students, teachers, staffs, facilities, and infrastructures. Okay, so these are the indicators. Also, these are the criteria we have to focus on it while giving our input. Okay, so how do they teach? How do they give their input? How are the staffs? How are the facilities? No, so Chiringji, perhaps no, there are some schools where they are in marginalized society. They don't have particular facilities. They don't have the infrastructures. How do they give input? अब त्यहाँ एउटा ल यो चाहिँ अनलाइनमा हेरेर आउनुहोस् भनेर हुन्छ क्या कहिले कहिले हाइपरलिङ्क दिएको हुन्छ. So the school which doesn't have any kind of facilities, how do the teachers give that kind of input? That's the big question. हेर्नुहोस् होइन. अनि त्यसपछि समटाइम्स के भने हुन्छ भने सो आस्क दिस क्वेसन टु योर कम्युनिटी भने हुन्छ. एन्ड देन देयर आर भेरी फ्यु हाउसेस, देयर आर फ्यु society, few people, even they don't know the things. So that's the problem anyway. So the things are there. So the level of the students also. So how do we give input? Okay, so that is discussed over here. And when we talk about input, there are some questions. For example, what is the entering ability of students? Okay, how is their prior knowledge? If they don't know ABCD, then how can you teach sentence? No. So therefore their level is very much important. Okay, so does that in curriculum address that their level, their age? Okay, so that is always important at the very beginning. So what are the learning skills of the students? What do they learn? As Sabina mentioned, they don't have a good communication skill. Okay, so why, what is the reason behind struggling behind speaking skill? Why do they struggle? Because of lack of resources, lack of human resource, lack of skilled human resource, lack of teacher trainers, as Vijay mentioned. Okay, so these things matter. So therefore, what are the learning skills of students also is another question, which is asked to input evaluation. So what is the motivation of the students? Are the students motivated? towards their classroom? What are the living condition of the students? So so Maslow's hierarchy of need. Okay, does student so is all students is all is the hierarchy of needs fulfilled there? Okay, so the problem is that students are hungry, but the input is being given in the classroom. How is the input being given? Will the input be well delivered to the students? There is again big question. Okay, the students are hungry. For example, Ramkrishna ji knows about it, because most of these students in a government school, they are from very struggling family, right? Economically struggling from different aspects, and they come to school by not taking any food, and then what happens then? So therefore, we have to understand, we have to assess the living condition of the students. How do they live? Okay, what are the students of existing knowledge? Okay, so was their previous level appropriate? Previous level was fine or not? Are the aims suitable? What are the aims of the curriculum? Okay, so were the aims appropriate, suitable to their level? Do the objectives derives from aim? Are the objectives smart? Okay, and then is the course content clearly clarified, defined? I know sometimes the course itself, the context, that content, that particular content itself is very vague, redundant. How do they learn? Okay, so sometimes they have dual meanings also. Sometimes they are not, they are less comprehensible. So does the content match students' abilities? Is the content relevant to practical problems? What is the theory practice balance? Okay, so what resources, equipment are available there? So having said that, this input evaluation also is not totally different than context evaluation, but there is a slightly different, that it is kind of, how do we give input, how do we give the content, how do we teach? It's kind of process, it's kind of, it's some of, it's a kind of a little bit about process also, right? When we act, it is based on action. Okay, so these are the determinants of that action of the input evaluation. Okay, so I think these questions convince you to talk about the input evaluation. तपाईहरुले डाटा ल्याएर एक्सप्लेन गर्दाखेरिमा, when you write another, that I should say paragraph. So when you write a paragraph under input evaluation, so the paragraph will address these kind of questions. सबै एड्रेस गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने छैन. So at least this, since you are in this level, just focus on 4-5 questions at least. And if you have time, you can do it all the questions. You can answer them based on the data, right? And then there will be interview also. There will be observation data also. Do it, no? But whatever you touch, please touch it completely. And then so suppose you take 3 questions only, that's fine. So I mentioned them with the supporting details. Supporting details means last time you talk about error analysis with that particular you events, particular data, like that you focus on it. Okay, next. So same input evaluation. What books do the teachers have? I know. Kasto books छ त? What books do the students have? What curriculum do the students have? How strong are the teaching strategies of the teachers? Are the teachers well competent? Okay, are the teachers capable? Do the teachers have perfect strategies? Okay, so these things come there. What time is available compared with the workload? हेर्नुस् त, क्लासै क्लास हुन्छ. Sometimes a teacher has to have more than 6 classes. How does he teach, or how does she teach? For preparation, how does he prepare well? Does she prepare well? एकचोटि टिचरसँग सोध्नुस् त, हैन? Just being a teacher पनि, तपाई आफै पनि टिचर भएर just you talk to them, how do they give response? त्यसको रेस्पोन्डेन्ट त तपाईहरु आफै पनि हो नि. sometimes bias त त्यहीँबाट पनि आउन सक्छ. Okay, so do they prepare well? What knowledge, skill, attitude related to the subject do the teachers have? Okay, what kind of skill do they have? No. So suppose they have to teach dance, even they don't know how to dance. Sometimes that's the problem actually. Attitudes. Sometimes teachers get burn out. No, एकदमै चाँडै रिसाउने, रिसाइदिहाल्ने, like that. हैन? So does he or does she teach well? Okay, does he or does she give proper input? Okay, so how supportive is the classroom environment? So हेर्दाखेरिमा त्यहाँ, so when sometimes no, classroom is being regularly disturbed, disturbed by certain external environment, for example factory area, or moving aeroplane, no, and then other kind of things, no? How many students are there? Maybe Ramkishanji, how is the ratio of the learner? Perhaps 45 in Tarai, right? Am I right? 45 in Tarai, 40 in hilly mountain, 35, right? According to our education act. So
Yes,
अब
sir.
त्यस्तो भने हुन्छ then the problem is that we have more than 60 students in a classroom. How does that teacher teach? How does that teacher give that the that particular program? Does he teach well? Does she teach well? Will that be input oriented or not? So that's the problem. How many students are there? How many teachers are there? Okay, so for example there are only 3 teachers, and then the classes will be 5 6 classes, 7 classes, basic schools. Even there is problem, problem is seen in a rural place where teachers are not interested in being in the rural area, and very few teachers are there. There are many students but few teachers are there. Sometimes very few students are there, many teachers are there. So many things. How is the course organized? What regulations lead to the training? So these questions are very much important when we evaluate input evaluation for the program evaluation. Okay, so let me stop now, and then let's start talking, orally. Then let's have a small discussion about it. How do we give our input? How do we assess input evaluation? Okay, so yeah, now so I just ask you to share some ideas on it. How do you understand this input evaluation? Okay, so have you thought of these kind of ideas or not? So do yes, please.
Excuse me, sir. So regarding this, I just want to put some ideas that
Mm-hmm.
I felt lacking in my area.
Mm-hmm.
So after getting information about the input that we discussed just now, I just realized that the curriculum is just a showpiece, especially for my birthplace.
Uh-huh.
So what happened is like teachers are totally unaware about the curriculum and all, and because of that, one year what happened was still we need to work for 3 days or 4 days by walking. There is no transportation service. So because of that, when we were in grade four, if I'm not wrong, so there was no course book, and course book need to be transported from Kathmandu, but because of some economic problem, or maybe like we do not know the exact reason why
Uh,
the books and copies were not available over there. So
uh,
because of that, we were asked to repeat the same class for the whole like 1 year, let's say for 6 months. So we continued in as a grade four for 2 years. So this is the bitter truth. If the teachers were familiar with the curriculum, they would have just designed or had given some conceptual ideas regarding the course, because they have been teaching in grade like five for many years. They would have guided us in that way instead of like making us to stay in grade four for 2 years. Like it
mm,
wasn't a problem for me because I was always a failure. So maybe I failed in one subject at that time also. But that really impact on other students, to my classmates. That is the
mm,
lack of practice in curriculum. And next thing is teachers, like they are just there with English teacher especially. I just want to focus on English teacher. So he or she used to translate the English language in Tibetan. The
ah,
teacher would be in she would be Tibetan, or she was a Tibetan, and then when she was teaching us English, then she used to translate it in Tibetan, and we used to learn the English in Tibetan language. So because of that, like we have been learning, or we have the subject, specific subject of English since our like grade one, even in nursery classes. But the thing is, we learned it in Tibetan language. So because of that, like even though I was in grade six, I do not know how to speak in English, and I just know one two sentences, that is how are you and I am fine. That was the only two sentences that I knew that was also memorized. So whatever I read or from the passage or whatever I read, I just like, if possible, I would be memorizing it. Otherwise, I would be totally blank on it. So this is also due to lack of practices, due to lack of like attention from the like particular government and all. Till now, it's like not managed. So
Mhm.
I hope I would be able to do something for this,
Mhm.
and like for that, I'm like struggling a lot, and that is
Mhm.
what I want to share, sir.
Yeah, really. So you are acting differently. Yeah, I like the way you are acting. So keep on continuing that. Be proactive. Be kind of unique person to all of them. So you can do it. I have seen that kind of hope. Okay. So here problem. Yeah, problem is everywhere. Problem is everywhere. But the thing is that how can we sort out those problems? Okay. So how can we minimize them? How can we mitigate them? Okay. So we should not escape from the problems, right? So we just have certain strategies, right? We are the what to say? Teachers can do. There is one statement. Teachers can do, you know. So there is one statement. We can do this. But the thing is that, as I mentioned already, we have to do extra mile, right? So if people are walking, we have to run. That's the thing. Okay. So having said that, we can do differently. Soroji, please.
So you asked us, how do we input evaluations, how do
Mhm.
we like
Mhm.
so this is all about like input evaluation is a component of CIPP model, which
Mhm.
involves evaluating the resources needed for the program. So which means resources, like already Turing G mentioned about the
Mhm.
transportations, a lot of things, all that is comes under the resources, and that is also under this input evaluations. So if I have to do this, so what I'm going to do is, I first of all, I'm going to identify the necessary resources, because
Mhm.
that's really important. And
Mhm.
then after that, I'm going to review the program budget. So I need to calculate how much I need to spend for that
Mhm.
program. And then after that, I will be identifying the stakeholders,
Mhm.
which means like, which is important part of the input evaluation also.
Mhm.
And then the fourth one, I will be doing some kind of, I will examine some plannings,
Mhm.
and as you say, the strategies for the
Mhm.
implementations,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
then overall at the end, I will be collecting all the informations. That's how I will be doing
Mhm.
input evaluation.
Yes, really. So yeah, Saruji mentioned these are the criteria. These are the what indicators that are being assessed, that are being supposed to assess while doing input evaluation. Okay. So as I mentioned already, input or context or process output, whatever you mentioned, so these will be related in to some extent, right? So there will not be clear cut differences between those elements. So there will be some kind of blended ideas also. Just keep on doing. But the thing is that we have to talk to people. We have to talk to the stakeholders. Without talking to them, so last time what we did was we visited Bright Future School at Sadavato, and then we also did one research on it. And what we did was we just I still remember we just talked to four students, I know, and then we talked to that what yeah we talked to principal, and then we talked to teachers, and where our one of our classmates used to work. We went there. अनि त्यसपछि देन वी जस्ट ह्याड अ काइन्ड अफ राउन्ड टेबल डिस्कसन अनि त्यसपछि पत्ता लाग्यो कि वाट्स रङ विथ द्याट होइन त्यसरी हामीले काम गऱ्यौँ वी भिजिटेड देयर भिजिट नगरिकन चाहिँ एज सरजी मेन्सन जस्ट टक टु पिपल वी जस्ट भिजिट देम वी डु हेभ सम काइन्ड अफ राउन्ड टेबल डिस्कसन एन्ड थिङ्स कम आउट इफ वी बिकम आर्म चेयर क्रिटिक नथिङ कम्स आउट होइन अलिकति चाहिँ वी हेभ टु बी लाइक इथनोग्राफर who our people are, what they are doing, यो कुराहरू चाहिँ we have to keep in mind है. So while doing a program evaluation, so you can
So,
do it
excuse
also.
me, sir, could you add something more about it, sir, about Sadhvadu school? That what kind of problem you faced there? Then what kind of output you
Okay.
find there?
Oh, very, yeah, you caught me out, right? You caught me out. So just we went there, and then what the teacher was teaching was, right? The teacher, I think Savina, or I think anybody. Um, so you know the teacher who had been working there. I think he works nowadays or not. So what I talked to him was that whether the curriculum was well implemented or not, whether the contents were teachable or not. Okay, so what he mentioned at the time was that, so some contents are not there is appropriate, one. Okay, and next is the contents are overloaded. Okay, next. And third one what he mentioned was that yeah, there is the provision of practical work. I know, but it is kind of in the practical work remains only in the name, in the identity only. Okay, so uh, what what they do is, it's like kind of ritual. Putting practical work, putting assignment is like a kind of ritual. It's not being practiced so far. Right? And there is what continuous assessment. There is what classroom participation. All these things are put there, but those things have not been practiced so far. That's the thing shared by him. Okay, and then even students also mentioned that. We talked to students. The student mentioned that. Um, yes. So sometimes no, the content, the exercises are quite challenging, philosophically laden, right? And they don't know how to do that. Some questions in English or even in literature, they didn't know. Even the facilitator themselves don't know what's that. Yeah, although the facilitator knows a little bit about them, but the question, the students cannot figure out what the question means to say. Alikati philosophical and like vague kind of things, and then they cannot concretize those things. So if the questions are not concretized, then why do textbook put those kind of questions? There is big question from the student. She was in B.Ed second year at the time. I think she had already passed. She might have passed B.Ed now. Okay, same problem at our school. Okay, no, यो त कमनै हुन्छ कि. It's common problem, not only in your schools. It's common. यो चाहिँ कुरा एकदमै स्ट्रिक्टली भन्नु पर्यो, म टेबल गर्छु भन्नु पर्यो. And then we have to write articles, we have to write the things, we have to speak about those kind of things. यो हुँदैन भने किन राख्ने क्या? That's the problem, right? If the thing is not more effective, why do we put that? होइन, किन राखे यो बिरालो बाँधे जस्तो गरी? Okay, Vijayji, please.
So, sir, I mean, what kind of relationship is there between the curriculum and the textbook? Because many times
Oh, yeah, yeah.
the
You talk
people
about
who set curriculum are or
Mm.
might not write the textbook themselves.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
while like writing or designing a course book, I mean, what relationship is there, and what things we should be aware of while conducting
Exactly.
curriculum evaluation? How should we consider textbook here in this?
So, yeah, your question needs a lot of explanation. However, now I would like to mention only a sentence. Okay. So, curriculum is the what framework, the runway, the main what agenda, the main race course. Okay. So, based on that race course, based on that plan, content should be designed, right? So content, how are content designed? Content are supposed to be designed, are believed to be designed based on curriculum. Curriculum is the whole program, whole that what to say, that master plan. Whether I should use this word or not. So anyway, this is the main plan, main what to say, DPR, detailed project report. If we talk about them, in other the terminology. Okay, so that based on that report, syllabus is designed. Based on that syllabus, then a book comes out. That's the process. Okay, so if if I answer your question in one sentence again, then it's the, the textbook, the contents are the outcome of the curriculum. The curriculum is a main plan. Based on those plan, then contents are designed. For example, त्यहाँ कस्तो भने हुन्छ भने जस्तै so to develop speaking skill भनेको छ हैन करिकुलममा. And then in content what they write is conversation is put there. I think Saruji, you listen to me now. So then for example discussion will be there, dialogue will be there, so to address that need, that criteria, curriculum mentions that students will be able to develop their speaking skill भनेको छ. And there is content like conversations will be there, the conversation between doctors and nurses, or doctors and patients, conversation between teachers and students. Okay, so this is how content should be designed. But sometimes के हुन्छ भनेदेखि the objective of the curriculum is one side, and the contents are another side. Means the contents are overloaded. Okay, or let's say the objectives are overloaded, which are not is appropriate, as mentioned by one of the students, one of my participants in Bright Future School. Last time we did one research on it. Textbook is supporting material. Oh yes, textbook is supporting material of the curriculum. Yes, so that's the thing. That's the relationship between Vijayji. I think it's not enough to understand over here, but in a layman sense, in a general sense, you understand like that. Okay, so you can just I just started making some kind of curiosity in you. What is the curriculum? What is the syllabus? What is content, right? And then yeah, were you the student of Bright Future? Okay, nice to hear it, nice to see it. Oh, but were you there in 2019, Siniji? We visited there. Bijay Adhikari something was principal there, and some teachers, principal sir was there. We talked to principal sir also. Yes, so not yet, sir. Oh, okay. So yes, that's the relationship between curriculum and the textbook or syllabus. What do you say? Yes, yes, please.
So, sir, earlier while discussing about the context evaluation, we said that we should be careful about the diversity of a country. So, is it possible to categorize the diversity into certain groups and come up with different textbooks based on the same curriculum?
Okay. So your question needs a little bit, behavioral answers. I mean, your question has kind of direction. Like, yeah. So we are in Nepal, and then the curriculum that we are practicing here should be based on our context. Okay, our geography, our culture. Okay, so it is. How can we say it is not possible? It is possible. We have to make it possible. Okay, provided that we are creative, provided that we do not believe in new liberal mindset. The problem with us is we just believe in westerners, we just believe in white flashes. That's the problem with us. Okay, why don't we believe in our own philosophy? Why don't we believe in our own people? Okay, so we have to put neoliberal mindset away from our mind. Okay, so our policymakers or we people should knock the door of that policymakers, that we should give this message. We should not yeah, we can create our own identities, our own way of designing curriculum. Okay, based on the soil. Okay, what kind of needs, what kind of nature does our soil have? We have to design the curriculum based on the needs of soil, the needs of people, the needs of geography, rather than being neoliberal mindset. Okay, so yes, we design curriculum based on the westerners, based on the people who are in abroad, who are in western countries. That's not the blame only. That many of the research I last time went through different research based on curriculum design, all these things, and most of the scholars focus on it, right? So don't we create our own identity? Don't we create our own curriculum? Now, Ramakrishna ji knows about it. There is Sthaniya Pathikram, something like that. That Sthaniya Pathikram has not been practiced so far. त्यो एकदमै राम्रो छ, because that addresses about the particular society, that particular palika, that particular local government. Okay, so we should promote. For example, one of the mayors of Kathmandu Valley started, applying Newari curriculum. So Newari curriculum in one of the cities of Kathmandu. That is very welcoming step. Okay, so therefore, what I mean to say is we should promote our local identities, local knowledge, indigenous knowledge. So even Kathmandu University School of Education started indigenous curriculum, indigenous studies. Okay, perhaps they are having some students also to do that master's level program, indigenous study. Perhaps 1 year MA in indigenous studies, something like that. Okay, so we have to promote it. Okay, by the until and unless we promote our own identities, own indigenous knowledge, so it is very harsh to say that we can develop our countries. I heard about English language in few schools. Yeah, yes, yeah. So Bijaji, did I make you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So we have to promote. So we cannot say we cannot know. Yeah, yeah. We cannot design the curriculum which is not fit to our country. We can design it, but there should be collective effort. So from central government to local government, from ward chair to prime minister, they come and then they table. They just have kind of round table discussion with policymakers, with educationists, like we practitioners, we scholars. And then why not? It really possible. Okay, so there is the problem between negotiation. Okay, negotiation is no collaboration at all. Right? So since there is a unstable government, even for example, if you don't take it otherwise, uh, Maoists talk about the what to say, kind of revolutionary kind of curriculum, but Maoist got 3 times prime minister level, I mean education minister level, but they could not do anything. Only they put one of their objectives. The objectives was that education. One of the objectives of education was that revolutionary function. What does that revolutionary function mean? Only they put that one of the objectives of education, but so far as I know, until now, I have not been able to find that kind of work which is done by education. They put only that objectives that was done by them when the government came, when the Maoist government came, but nothing was different there. That's the very pity to say the change was not happened. Okay, so what to say? People talk and then they do less. That's the problem again. So collaborative effort is necessary. We have to collaborate from local government to bottom, top to bottom, as Sabina mentioned last time. So coordination, negotiation is important for us. Any more queries? Okay. So I think you should talk to people who are working in curriculum development center also. Right? I think they will understand. They will have a kind of hand in experiences, hands-on experiences about that kind of things. Savina, yes, please.
Yes, about this input evaluation. It was about, it's also part of the CIPP. So about it, sir, through my experience, just during my teaching practice, I taught in grade 9 government school, one of the government school. And while I was teaching, at that time, just like it was mentioned in order, like the reading, like listening, and about the listening. Just it was mentioned in the book. It's still mentioned in the book, but just when I like searched about the no sir audio, I couldn't be able to find in the even in the YouTube and anywhere else. And then I concerned with the teacher who used to teach. Even my like professors teaches. Who used to teach me bachelor? He's a teacher of secondary level, and I asked him like, sir, how you used to teach this listening skill, or just do you skip this, or what do you do? Then he simply answers, no, like, I used to skip because we
It's
don't
like ritual. As I mentioned, it's like ritual, right?
ritual, yes, sir. Like we have the computers, but in the corner, no, sir. It's like that. So, but in the curriculum, when I just went through the curriculum, it's mentioned that the law, listening and the speaking skills should be properly equipped to the students, all those things, and the just the English teacher, just instead of the mother tongue English, like use of mother tongue should be minimized, no, sir. But in the real classroom, that's it's the maximized. That's opposite of curriculum. So while writing this input evaluation, I think that we can question mark on these things, like
Oh,
about the listening skill mainly.
hey,
For the grade 10 we can find in the YouTube, but grade 9, so I didn't find
yeah,
whether.
it's the point to be noted down actually. So
Yes,
what we say that we do not act so far in the classroom. So if we do not act so far, then why do we put? That is my question again.
yes, if
Let's
they
skip
couldn't
it.
be able
Let's
to.
not teach them, right?
Yes,
If it is taught, if it is being taught, if it should be taught, then let's practice. Then let's give such a training to the teachers, and focus should be given on this issue. Otherwise, why to put? So is it? Are we doing a kind of ritual in the classroom? So that's not
yes,
the big. That's not the things. So we have to do it in a very serious ways.
yes,
Otherwise, as
just
Savinaji mentioned, it's not the story of Savinaji; it's the story of other teachers also. So
yes,
I
and
think
the teachers also they don't take the action, no sir. Like the teachers also should be some active, like they are doing, let it be. Then like the just we have to. It's we didn't find and what to do. Just they have to take some actions as well, so that there should be the some certain change, no sir. There will be the change. Otherwise, how like that those who make this curriculum they couldn't be able to know, like as we have mentioned on top if it is the top down, obviously they could be able to know our problems, what the challenges are. But even those who like stakeholders like the school administrators with the teachers, we should also be active or like no, so in that way. And recently during my vacation I could be able to meet my teachers, and just I mentioned I'm teaching here that's in that way, and just they told me like how the is going on about the teaching. And just there Taplejung some teachers they went to the even the Thailand as well as the Singapore to just know about the education principles of two schools. And I asked to my one of my teacher of those schools, and so like did they like are they planning to bring some certain changes in our schools, because they have no went through there. I mean that they have learned something new, but my teacher responded, how can they be able to? There won't be any change within the 10 years also,
oh,
Sabina, in that way. No? So school administration is like, no, they have to be active. I was so shameful on me as well as, like those so-called, what to say, principals. Like, they instead of learning about the curriculum of those countries developed, they just upload the photo within a day two
yeah.
three times, no, so I
Ah.
used to see that.
Just they visit the school and then to talk to principal and they take photos and then post
Yes,
on
sir.
social media.
Standing on the
So this is
gate
the
of this
achievement
school.
only.
Yes, I was so sympathetic, like so
But
pretty.
by and large, they will have got some ideas in their intuition. The ideas will be in their intuition, but provided that the things will be better, provided that the resources are there, so the thing they have learned from China will be implemented in Nepal also.
Yes, sir.
Only the thing is that whether we are ready or not, readiness is necessary. Our
Yes, sir.
mindset is necessary, right? Whether we have closed mindset or open mindset. So therefore, when we learn something else, so we can implement it. अब जस्तै
Yes,
चाहिँ
sir.
यस्तो हुन्छ सरकारी स्कुलमा लाइक रामकृष्णजी knows about it. There is a problem in forming the SMC also. कुन पार्टीको आयो कुन प्यानलको आयो then know about that kind of education plan vision, no vision at all, no plan at all. एन्ड देन अझ त्यहाँ त मारामार हुन्छ त्यो त होइन, कस्तो प्रधानमन्त्री नै चुन्ने जस्तो लाइक. सो just talking about me, I'm feeling quite same, no, to talk about it. Suppose I'm being negged myself because talking about these kind of things. So therefore, we are doing quite differently. So the thing that we are speaking is not being done by ourselves because of the political issues and then other kind of choice, and even we don't have that kind of readiness. Readiness is always necessary. सकिन्छ, सबै छ, गर्नेले गरे पनि छ. त्यही कुरा चाहिँ एलएमा हुन्छ भने, त्यही कुरा चाहिँ युलेन्समा हुन्छ भने अरूमा किन हुँदैन, होइन? गभर्मेन्ट टिचर्स आर वेल पेड, so frankly speaking, right? And then they even get promotion also, and the outcome is there. Look at the outcome. Ramkeshji, I think you are disappointed at me, right?
यस रियली सर, यो म सानो एक्सपिरियन्स सेयर गरेँ है सर मैले.
भन्नु.
यो एकदमै राजनीतिक हुँदो रहेछ सर. म यसपालि यो टिएससी पोस्टिङ भएँ, हुँदै गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ म चाहिँ एउटा स्कुलमा मैले चुज गर्न खोजेको थिएँ त्यहाँ पोस्टिङको लागि होइन.
हजुर.
म चाहिँ जिल्लामा मेरो चाहिँ 7th नम्बरमा मेरो नाम निस्केको थियो. अनि उहाँहरू चाहिँ अलिक पछाडि हुनुहुन्थ्यो. अनि त्यहाँ मैले चुज गरेँ, उहाँहरूको चान्स थिएन. अनि मलाई त त्यहाँ त्यो स्कुल चुज नगर्नलाई यति उहाँहरूले प्रेसर गर्नुभयो कि. अनि मैले आफ्नै त्यहाँ नजिकको स्कुलमा चुज गरेँ. अनि यदि उहाँहरूको आफ्नो मान्छे राख्नको लागि चाहिँ अब त्यहाँ यति लबिङ गर्नुभयो कि उहाँहरूले, इभन मसँग अनि पालिकासँग पनि. त्यस्तै कन्डिसन छ क्या सर. यहाँ पोस्टिङ हुन पनि गाह्रै छ क्या सर गाउँमा चाहिँ.
Okay,
त्यहाँ गएर काम गर्न झन् धेरै परेको कुरा सर.
It's not about the research, it's not about the outcome of the schools and then learning achievement. No, they don't talk about learning achievement. They don't talk about the teachers, the quality of teachers, then the future of the student, and who reads there, who studies there, I know. And then that's the big query. So thank you so much, Ramkinji, for sharing your thought. Please write it in your diary, right? So mention it, and then it will be kind of big data for you to figure out your articles in the days. Okay, we discussed about process and input evaluation. Okay, दुईटा एकदम big issues मा हामी कुरा गर्यौं. So it's been let me consult watch. 7:15. So shall we take a short break for 10 minutes so that we can refresh? Okay. So let me stop my recordings over here for first half. Okay. Yes.